To show you how team libraries works, I need to first show you how to add a new team into Figma. So down here, when we very first start up Figma in the start screen, we have this new team icon. And here you can name your team. And if you go through this process, there will be options to invite new members to the team. Because I already went through this, I'm going to click cancel. And I've enabled a paid account under the team Brainspin so I can show you this feature. Now, if you're working with the free account, you don't have access to the team libraries, so you won't be able to follow along with me, but I'll still be able to explain kind of how team libraries works and how the panels works. And if you do have a paid subscription plan, feel free to just add a team and then click New Project here. And I'm just going to call this project Bootstrap Styles. And I'll click Create Project here. And once I have this project set up, I can import my file here. And let's import the bootstrap_styles fig file. And now we can open up this bootstrap styles fig file. And we can see a number of buttons that were designed for Bootstrap. So now that we're in a team and we have these buttons designed, let's say we want to use these across multiple files and share these designs with the team so they can use these buttons throughout their project. Well, first thing I'll do is click on this components panel here, and we can see that they're not set up as a component yet. So what we would do is click on each of these elements and just click Create Component. And we can see there's a button primary, there's a button secondary, and just go through here and click on the Create Component for each of these in the top row. So now we have these components set up, and here we can start with the primary button here. If I right click, I can publish this one component to the team library, and if I click on that, we can see that now this is in the team library section, and I can always remove this from the library. But what does that mean now that this is added in a library in the libraries panel? Well, I can click down here and I can see that we have this file called Bootstrap Styles, and if I click in here, we have that one button we can reuse throughout multiple files. Well, I'll go back here into the components panel and I'll just click this info and I'll add this to the library. Well, let's just add them all. So now we have these all added to the library, and we can see a little sync icon here saying they've been added, but they haven't been published yet. So if I go to any other file and try to access these, I'm not going to be able to find them. So I'll just click this Publish, and it'll give me a view of everything that's going to be added to the library. And so I'll click Publish Changes. And now these are all added to the team library. So now all I have to do is click on this plus icon to create a whole new file. And as I'm designing, I can click to create a new frame here, and I'll go to desktop and create a desktop frame. And so now that somebody else on my team may have created and shared those styles, I can jump here to the team library and jump into Bootstrap Styles and say, I guess I want this primary button. I want to use this throughout my project here. So if I hold down Option, I can copy this 3 times here. And now that I have these inside my file, I can still double click on these, and let's click on the layers panel so we can see how these look here. So I still see this background, I can see the text, and I can change this text to click on me. I can resize those. And if I want to change the look of this, I can click this Go to Master Component, and it will jump into this project where the master component is. And here, I can double click inside of here to change this to green, for example. And I can go back into my project and nothing's changed yet. But if I go back into this Bootstrap Styles, you can see that it's shown here that I've changed the style, but I haven't published the change. So as soon as I click Publish, or if any team members click Publish, then it's going to tell me this is going to be updated in the library from blue to green. So I'll click Publish Change here, and we'll click on Untitled, and everything is still blue. But you notice here on the bottom right we have an alert that says Component Updates Available. So I can click Dismiss or Review here, and I'll click Dismiss right now. And one thing that's really nice is you're not surprised by some quick changes by team members, and you don't have to adopt those changes that they created. But if we ever wanted to adopt those changes later, we can click on this team library panel here, and let's click this back button, and we can see that there's one update available. So I'll click on that update, and it'll tell me this button primary in Bootstrap changed to green here. So I'll decide I want to update this. So I'll just click update, and now everything's changed to green. And it still has that blue stroke. So I'll go back in here, and I'll double click on this again, change this blue stroke to maybe the same, maybe a light green stroke or a dark green stroke. Let's just do that. Same thing here, publish the change. Now that it's published, we can go back into our other project, and we can click review immediately this time and update all changes. So the power behind team libraries is you can have one team member that is designing all of the styles for a certain project or for multiple projects. And at the same time, you can have somebody else working on the project itself, adopting those styles, dragging them in, and applying those. And then they can decide whether to adopt changes later as the style grows. So it's a great way to reuse styles and elements, not just in your project like Master Components allows, but throughout multiple projects and throughout the entire team.